Oh, hey, yeah, we don't want to play against Glaz or Echo. So Maverick also was banned in the previous map. Mira, this is our first ban in this match.
Interestingly enough, Echo not really much of a surprise. So bans working out very similar to the way they have in the past. Glaz being banned every time, Echo being banned every time. LSE, no flexibility on these bans.
Yeah, certainly not. Kind of interesting to see that they've been just sticking to the same. I think that's something you can do against certain teams, but I don't know. It seems, again, I gotta be honest. I would be banning Maestro if I were LeStream. That's what I keep coming back to is like, okay, yeah, you can ban something similar. That's not a big deal. But why not the Maestro? Redeemer does so well on Maestro. And he's going to be able to start as the Maestro, as they will be beginning on defense this time around.
All right, so let's get this underway with Armory being the very first site. Nothing weird. Now, Michael, I do want to let you know that Customs is on this map.
So they're going to be starting in Armory. Pretty standard fare for Border.
I'm sorry. I had to get that in.
And they're going to be extending themselves into the Office. And Office is a pretty standard extension for this defense. It's a little bit more common than the 75% hold that we'll see if you try to go into CCTV. There are rotation holds in CCTV. You can see they've also made one in Fountain, which means Space Station are going to be relying on aggression, which has been actually, I think, the saving grace for most defensive teams outside of just, you know... Okay, here's how it works. If your roamers are too far off site that they don't have anyone to support them, it usually ends up being the defense who will hurt. If the roamers are just off site and they're able to inflict damage as the attackers come to attack site, that's how the roaming has been doing really well. Now on Border, it's hard to be so detached from the site that you leave yourself exposed. On Villa, it's very easy, but I don't think that that's going to be a big problem in this map. Rampy will get the first kill. Uno goes down through the south doorway of CCTV.
It's a pretty big blow to take out the Sledge as well. Funny enough, Bosco played Sledge quite a lot when he was playing for Obey on this map, and was one of a tiny number of players who still use Sledge in their arsenal. But he has seen a bit of an increase in pick rate alongside Buck, largely because Zofia has been gone. So the Sledge, bye-bye Uno. And they'll still have frag grenades in the hand of Rise, who has been quite proficient with them today. He's actually been finding a number of kills with those frag grenades. Chala will lose one of his black eyes trying to escape from security, and he'll head down the main stairs. Still alive. He can be picked up as long as somebody goes to grab him.
Yeah, definitely salvageable, but it's going to be difficult, and they'll have to rotate somebody to do it. Looks like they've already done that. Ooh, Aces just glances over a kill there. Rampy able to continue to play in CCTV. He'll eat some damage from Aces, and the follow-up will not land. Oh no, bad play from the Jaeger on LeStream. Third time's the charm, or not so in this case, as he goes for a fourth peek from the window. He's going back and forth between the wall and the window. He really wants the kill onto Rampy, but Rampy's making it cost, and Redeemer even more so as he takes down Aces, a peek from the site. That is what we talk about when we mean coordination. Great job there to Space Station, dueling up on Aces, who just could not land his shots.
And Rampy's just wasting so much time. Chala has been reset as well, so this is a very successful round for Space Station for the time being. You've taken a lot of fragging prowess away from LeStream, but they've still got the utility that they need and the gadgets to get in towards the site. It'll be an Office push, and here's Hicks with the exothermic charge going off with 30 seconds to go. Not out of the ordinary. Also got a Capital playing on vents. Oh, Rampy will double up as Rise and Hicks just run right into the carbine. And the Rampster himself will continue to run. Alfama's got the ability to try and get into sight with those asphyxiating bolts and the smoke bolts, but all he'll do is run right into Redeemer. The Alda just positioned at the window. First round will go to Space Station.
2 for Redeemer, 3 for Rampy, and a lot of that just Rampy and CCTV denying that position to the attackers. Lots of roamer control there for Space Station. And again, okay, I'm going to go back to this. When the roamers are too far from site for the site players, the anchors, to support them, that's when the roamers start to suffer. But it's, again, hard to accomplish on border. It's hard to get that far, and it wasn't the case in that round. Rampy was alone in CCTV for a good portion of the round. He still managed to do work from that spot, though. And then when he was really feeling the pressure from Aces, well, Aces missed enough shots to allow Redeemer to rotate and actually alleviate that pressure. So good job to Space Station as a whole. And here's one thing I just noticed. LeStream, they've changed Aces to Dokkaebi and put Uno back on Ash. I have to agree with that decision. Uno, throughout this whole tournament, has been playing way better on Ash. And I think it makes sense that, that Aces is going to take a back foot, considering how poorly he did in the last round.
It's actually kind of strange that Aces is being overshadowed as entry fragger because he's been in the conversation for best in Europe, best in the world in terms of clean entry. But he's been playing a bit of a subdued role here, and he's been letting Uno really thrive. I don't know if that's a deliberate play by the team or if that's just simply the way that Aces is playing at this event. But the Aces that used to drop 15+ kills hasn't really come out the same way it used to, and I think that could be because there's more depth in terms of killing potential on the stream side of things, so they don't rely on it as much. Yeah,
there are very few players who will stand out as the fragger when you have multiple fraggers on a team, and LeStream certainly does that. Redeemer will go down and finally is finished off by Uno.
That's a bad play.
That is, yeah, being so exposed there from Redeemer. I really don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was trying, he was trying to get the drone, but I mean, he tried and failed, and I mean, he ended up paying for it with his life, as it's basically given LSE the ability to just encircle the site. It's 45 seconds, and customs in hand for LSE. Also over by the bottom of tellers, looking towards the stairs. They also have washroom control. But as you explained, Professor Kickstar, many times in your lectures, you need to get second floor control first.
Yeah, if you don't have second floor control on this bomb site, it is often that the roamers will deny your defuse plant from above, as Rampy is attempting to deny the push into bathrooms from above. You can see this quite clearly inside of Archives. He's got some great control here, and he will be able to deny any push out of bathroom, not into bathroom. But Bosco also on the east stairs will be able to follow that up with a late flank, as you can see. Phone call going to give away these roamers' positions, though. Bosco seeing some fire from the bottom of those east stairs, but all he needs to do is delay, and that's clearly what he's trying to do. He goes for the phone call and will actually answer it. The plant denied from Rampy. Great job to him from above. This is what we were just talking about, but it's still advantage LeStream, and the diffuser will be picked up.
That was a mistake as well. He just looks off at the last second, obviously trying to call it for his team. A frag grenade sails over top, will not hit any targets. Bosco entering in towards the site. He'll grab a tasty one onto Rise, playing by those wooden planks. Chala gunning down Alfama now on the interesting Maestro. So a bunch of role swaps for SSG here, but it's obviously causing a lot of heartburn for LeStream as they have to rotate now with 40 seconds to go. Still have utility in the Dokkaebi and the Ash just firing away inside a bathroom, but at any moment will give away his position. Oh, Bosco, you gotta land those shots, and Aces has the Dokkaebi a double kill on his own. And a round that should have been an easy lockout for Space Station will rely solely on Chala with the Evil Eyes there at play. Chala just firing away. Easy plant for the Dokkaebi, who will go prone, and seeing the Ash, Uno will falter, and Chala claims that one. But with the C75 in hand, Aces playing around the server stacks, looking to see where the Maestro is going to emerge from. This is good positioning, but he looks the wrong way. Chala takes a tiny bit of damage. He is the better weapon in this engagement. He's going to have to reload with only 18 bullets. He realizes that even though it takes a while, he's got time on his side. Halfway on the diffuser, but he's blind for the time being on the Dokkaebi, and he's going to expose his side for just a second. Chala will need to land the shot of his life here, but he has no idea. The Dokkaebi circles around, and Aces will close the gap. LeStream, a remarkable comeback in the latter half of that round to put it in the win column.
All off the backs of Aces as well. Excellent clutch for him. Now, it was a nice start to the round for LeStream. Space Station managed to get enough kills to bring it back, though. In the end, it was just Aces who really stood apart from the rest of his squad to get that win.
Did my dancing distract you?
Just a little bit. You're fine. It's all right, Parker.
Thank you. So LeStream is taking a tactical timeout from my understanding. Interesting that they would do that after the second round. Seems a bit early.
Yeah, okay, so again, there's a lot more rounds.
There's a lot of game left to play.
Yeah, there are a lot more rounds now than there used to be. 2 whole more rounds. And that's a lot of time, and as you said, a lot of game. So I think a little bit early there. Maybe they must have had some kind of issue that we aren't aware of that they needed to call a tactical timeout for.
I'm not entirely certain. That was a bit perplexing.
Yeah.
All said and done, if that's a tactical timeout, you have to question the thought process behind that unless there's something they really didn't like. I mean, it really should have been 2-0
True.
Space Station, but Aces came in and single-handedly beast mode the entire round.
Using the C75E, no less, which is, you know,
it's a good gun.
It's a good gun, but it's a sidearm. It's still impressive that he managed to pull that off.
Second time's a charm here for Vents, possibly, for Space Station Gaming.
I mean...
Border does have good site rotation.
Yes.
But you don't necessarily want to pull out a Customs or a Teller's bathrooms unless you need to.
They're definitely viable bomb sites, but they're a lot more difficult to
Teller's
hold.
bathroom. There's only one bathroom in this entire building.
That is true.
You notice that there's 3 showers and 1 toilet, and
5 seconds remaining.
Seems like it should be like 1 shower and 3 toilets.
They're also really oddly positioned.
Or is it 3 toilets and 1 shower?
No, there's only 1 toilet in there, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Are those? I don't even know. I think those are toilets.
No, yeah, those are squatting toilets, actually.
Where Redeemer is currently using one.
He's trying to give us an example.
Thank you, Redeemer.
Appreciate that.
If he crouched.
So I was about to explain the logic behind squatting toilets, but I feel like this is the wrong place and time. Space Station, gonna be trying to defend ventilation again, and as you said, it should have been a 2-0. It should be a 2-0 right now. But I think Space Station are certainly capable of bringing this back. You know, after that last round, this is definitely a good moment.
Bomb located by attack.
It's gonna have good entry here for Aces as well. I mean, his entry wasn't good. It was his late round that looked so strong last time. And LSE's gonna waste no time to try and take control of Armory. So overall, they'll get it very fast. And the roam that we saw that was holding up top for Space Station last time around will not be there this time.
Uno, trying to peek onto these roamers. This is a good thing that LeStream are doing. They're actually fixing the problem they had in the last round. They're trying to clear above before they start pushing into the site. I really appreciate this a change from them. That way, they won't have to worry about mid plant denial from above. Okay, that's 2 rounds in a row, Redeemer. What has gotten into you?
Almost the same place as well.
Yeah, in the middle of the hallway, so exposed. Rampy gonna start fighting back. He'll take down Rise, so...
In customs, so
that's good, but it should be an advantage right now for Space Station. Now it's just even.
I mean, you got to question the pulse play. You know, obviously playing down in server or in ventilation by the servers or workshop by the servers, depending on where you are in the actual sites, it's where you're going to see a pulse be. Even when it's Armory, that's where the pulse is going to be.
Yeah.
From below, it's a strong place to be, and a great shot from Uno there. Oh my word, on Chala. Gets absolutely vaporized, but Uno picked off from Bosco. And look at these trades from SSG, positioning themselves so they can always fight back the moment that they lose somebody, trying to keep that even. Space Station has lost both of their nitro cells on the Pulse and the Valkyrie. They still have one on Bosco's Bandit. There's a lot of explosiveness that was available there, but your information operators are gone. The Valk cams will persist, but the cardiac sensor will be no more.
Afama going to be eliminated by the main door. Rampy, who has been on a roam, is finally shut down by Hicks. The damage done. LeStream only has 17 seconds left to make this push happen. Nate just barely avoiding death there. Hicks going to use his flashbangs to try and get an advantage, but he will actually stun himself. Smoke grenade still in hand for Aces, but he's not keen to use them. Bosco takes down Hicks, and Thinking Nade will eliminate Aces as he attempts to rush the site. A poor decision there for Aces. He still had the option to smoke and attempt to plant, and we probably could have seen Hicks also cover said plant, but that was not what they attempted to do, instead just going for the kills. Bad decision making, that's for sure. Space Station will regain their lead.
Even with Redeemer's puzzling decision-making at the start of that round. 2 rounds, actually, rather.
I don't know what he's trying to do. I have no idea. Normally I would try to like explain it the nearest point of logic. Okay, my best guess is that he's playing in the middle of the map, exposed as he is, trying to gather information on where the push is coming from, and every time he's been caught blindsided because the pushes come from where he least expects it. That's my best guess. As the Pulse, that makes sense. But you can do that from a safe position. There are places where you don't need to be so exposed. So it's just curious. And it seems like, yeah, okay, we don't even have a Pulse anymore. So
that experiment didn't work.
It did not work.
That did not work at all. They'll bring the Valkyrie, though, which is pretty standard. And I'd imagine that Chala doesn't tend to play below for Space Station, though. So I'd hazard a guess that they're probably going to keep him either in Fountain or probably over towards B, playing somewhere near the hatch. But opening the hatch is actually kind of interesting. This is not, a lot of teams do not do this.
Yeah, it cuts down on the positions you can play inside of B as a defender. What it does, though, also is it makes it so you can rotate a lot easier downstairs if that's something you need to do. I guess it makes sense because you do have Chala. So if Chala plays above and you gather information on the attack, where it's coming from, and you want to C4 from below, it's a quick drop. And there you go. You can C4 from below. So only someone needs to mark on your Eagle or your Valkyrie cam, and then maybe a kill. We've seen that before, but usually it's the drop down in small office that gets open, not the one in B.
I don't know if Chala was setting up a Valk cam or not, but he was inside of security. It's a decent position to play, but basically if you're in security, you're playing to die at that time. You know that you're going to die at some point. You just want to waste the clock or waste time on the clock as best as possible, and there you go. He does have rotate, so he can hop right back into Fountain, which is where I speculated that he'd be playing the onset of this round.
So, Rise trying to grenade into the office corner. He's actually going to miss both of them, it seems. Yeah. Well, at least one of them so far. Bad timing there. Unfortunately, the rotation did come out from Space Station. A little bit of belated information relay there on the LeStream side of things, resulted in wasted utility, but that's okay. They can recover. They still have a grenade.
That's a pretty common spot to drop a grenade on. Usually you'll have an ADS there, and Bosco, I don't know if that was deliberate or not. It sure looks like it was.
It looked deliberate, yeah.
Because, I mean, typically if he wouldn't have meant to drop, he'd be hauling it back to site.
Okay, so here's what the thought process was for Space Station. As you can see, both of their C4 players are now underneath the site.
And they have an open hatch for the plant to take care of office.
And notice that it was at the 1:30 mark that they started to rotate back to the downstairs with those C4s. So they clearly had a plan.
They have a drone on them, though.
To deny the defuse plant. Yes, they do have a drone, so that's not good for Space Station, but it does mean that the stream are going to have to divert some focus in order to deal with those roamers. Still, even if they know about them.
That's an excellent drone, too. And I mean, it's visible, so I'm surprised that Bosco doesn't see it, but it's not something he's looking for.
Who expects that, right?
I mean, you've got a minute left. You have time for LeStream to send somebody down below, and Bosco could get pinched quite easily if there's a rotate that comes in through the front door. He's going to get thrown down. That's Uno's drone that was actually on him. So they give that drone up, and they're probably looking to try and pinch Bosco. That drone could have been done deliberately to flesh out the bandit. The exothermic charge will take the wall that leads inside of Archives. There's nobody to be seen right now from Space Station.
Not looking good for LSE right now. Thinking Nade takes down Uno, and Rampy will eliminate Aces. Thinking Nade, another one onto Hicks, and Rise and Alfama, the last two attackers, right? Both in the hallway, it seems, as Alfama's actually going to take down Rampy from Fountain. So small correction there. He gets information into the site, and he will go for the pre-fire. Sees the head of his opponent, doesn't land the shot, will eliminate Redeemer, but Thinking Nade in close proximity able to get the kill. Rise the last attacker, but with no time left and no diffuser in hand, he will lose out to Space Station. Great job delaying there. It seemed like as Uno droned the roamer downstairs, they were aware that they had an extra hurdle they needed to jump over, but they didn't know how. And so we saw LSE get just so delayed and Space Station play it on time.
Yeah. Once again, those mid-rounds. Those mid-rounds. Michael, we are going to Customs.
Yes.
Would you like to tell us about Customs?
All right, so Customs was made popular by the currently known as, currently known as G2 and previously known as Penta. What they did was when Mira came out, they placed a Mira window facing into the hallway and one from Armory facing onto the balcony to allow for CCTV control to be a little bit more solidified. It's a difficult position to hold. I'm not really sure why, but that kind of fell out of favor. I think it mostly came down to when Sophia came out. She kind of destroyed that whole strategy, you know.
Also, the Mira ban.
The Mira ban.
Don't discredit how hard it is to hold customs without a Mira.
It is quite difficult. We don't see Mira being played right now, as I believe she was banned, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, Michael.
So it's going to make holding this position a lot more difficult for Space Station. I honestly would have gone for a bathroom teller's defense, because you can hold upstairs easily without the need of a Mira window. You can still do it here, though, and considering how well Space Station has been holding CCTV so far in this match, I think it's the right call in this case for Space Station. They've been actually holding CCTV pretty much every round.
Yeah, they had Chala up there for a while, and I mean, like I said, you're fighting to die at this point, but they had a rotate come out. They're using an alibi strat on the windows, which means that it's going to embolden Alfama's play in order to try and direct those EMPs towards a CCTV push, unless they just manually shoot them. And
as I forgot to explain, you have to hold CCTV. So the whole point I was trying to get at there is if you don't hold CCTV, then you lose vertical control, but not just on a portion of the of the site, pretty much the entire site.
It's interesting, the shotgun magnum, or shotgun revolver rather, that both of the Italian operators have is actually capable of opening up huge holes in the wall, but you have to be far enough away. That was a deliberate play from Biggie Nate to open up just a small kill hole.
There's also only like a small window. Like if you get too far away, you're not doing anything.
Yeah. It's very, you need to be very precise with it, right?
Yeah, it's all about distance.
Continuing on his rampage, there is Uno trying to find somebody inside of Armory, but it will be in vain. There's nobody to receive the bullets that he sprays and sends lovingly through the wall. He's joined not too far off by the Buck of Rise, who is just playing on that soft destructor. They managed to drone out Rampy playing above, and they can collapse on him here right now. And Uno has all the intel in the world, and that's a great read to just tear through the Maestro, who gets spotted on the drone while he himself was on cam. It's basically a freebie from LSE, and they're going to pick up a second this time under Redeemer. This is a very good start, but we're transitioning now halfway through the round. And there's control from above that is going to be problematic for Space Station. They do still hold CCTV/security, so that is a blessing for them. But they don't have a numbers advantage, and it's going to only get worse as more drone work is going out to identify the two members of Space Station playing above. That'll be Uno taking care of Thinking Nade, and it's a 5v2. LSE doing quite well.
2, though, in quick succession for SSG, so it's not over just yet. So it's both the German defensive operators, and these guys are great and clutch situation. Also the players individually as well. Chala in a great position, Bosco full HP. He's not in a great position per se, but if he is not droned out, then he can do a lot of damage from this spot. The smoke will cover the drop, it seems, mostly. Bosco unable to get the first kill, but the follow-up will be there. Uno doing some great cover work, takes out Chala, allowing the diffuser to be planted. Bosco inside of the small office, trying to land some shots to the wall, and Aces goes down. It's just Uno, and his position is known. Bosco has full HP, and he will try to retake CCTV, but obviously Uno is going to be aware of this, or will he? He's on drone right now. Oh, but Bosco chooses to go into Armory instead of just pushing into CCTV, and no! He gives his position away! A missed opportunity there for Uno, and as he rushes into CCTV, he has to win the fight against Uno, who's in a great position. Diffuser still going on, not a whole lot of time. Bosco knows he's run out of time, and Uno in the perfect spot to clutch it. LeStream take the round, and a nice attempt from Bosco just wasn't enough.
So close. That came off of the retake. A strategy that's very difficult to set yourself up for, but on customs, we do tend to see retakes work quite effectively, because if somebody eventually concedes control of security from above, well, you just snatch it back, which is exactly what happened with Bosco. But like you said, gave his position away a little bit too early, and just a bit of plodding in terms of his pace to get towards security. I mean, he didn't have full intel, so I can understand the hesitation on his part of it, but if he'd been a little bit quicker, it would have worked out quite well. Now, not to dissect that anymore, but we have 2 updates for you. So if you, once again, don't want to know, cover your ears. Trust Gaming versus Chaos. Chaos takes map number 3, and they will go into the quarterfinals.
Used by attackers.
Congratulations to them. And then G2 versus Penta. G2 takes the series 2-1, and they will also go into the quarters. So there you have it. Right now, the 3 teams that are guaranteed to be playing either later today or tomorrow, depending on the way the scheduling works: G2, Empire, and Chaos.
But of course, those are the winner bracket matches, so both of those teams that lost will, if I'm not mistaken, still have a chance to fight.
They're not done. That is correct.
They're not done just yet.
10
So,
seconds to insertion.
Space Station, speaking of not done, we'll be going to Ventilation
5
once
seconds
more,
left
and they
before
are
insertion.
1-1 on this site so far. The first time that they lost it, it was
Attacker's
because
objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
of Aces, who managed to work his way straight in through the bathroom and dig his team out of a proverbial ditch. So, excuse me.
Struggled with that one.
It's my throat, man.
No, I understand.
I don't like.
We were both sick right after Rio. So.
Yeah, and I've been sick for like 2 weeks now. It's not going away. It just won't go away, man.
Have you seen a doctor?
Yes, I have. I had to skip Benelux. I was very livid about not getting to cast Benelux. I managed to make it here. I was hoping that it was all going to be gone at this point.
You sound great.
Thank you. For a sick man, I think I sound half decent.
I think you sound great.
But it is hard to talk. There are certain words I can't say. Anyway, I digress. Uno, pushing his way in. He has been great at getting opening frags for LeStream so far in this match. And he's not able to get any just yet early on, as there's quite a lot more resistance upstairs this time around from Space Station. The anchors are very entrenched inside of Armory. Oh, the roamers, pardon me.
I guess you could say they're technically anchoring it down.
But honestly, yeah, on this site, it is.
It can be almost interchangeable sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Depending on the way that you want to use it. But multiple rounds now, that great drone work from LeStream have been able to get the rest of the team to capitalize and pick up a kill. We saw that Redeemer playing from below get spotted just outside of the ventilation doorway, and that obviously can be a major problem. And especially when they were able to pick up the kill onto Rampy, I believe it was. Last round, it was playing inside of Armory. Not wanting to use any soft destruction, Castle Barricade inside of the bathroom will be taken down by just a couple hits from their knives. And both the Butt and the Thermite will now begin their assault on the eastern wall inside a workshop.
Thermite charge placed and will be detonated. That's going to give a lot of control to LeStream, as will the grenade from Rise. Man advantage finally in favor of the Europeans. And they're just taking a very basic stance on this Teller's push. They haven't cleared all of the top floor, or just enough to allow this push to be successful. Uno keeping control of Fountain and Archives to cover from above.
It is asphyxiating bolts going out, could possibly even be smokes. There's multiple that go off. Bosco, a big double kill with that C4. We goodbye to Hicks and Aces. They'll need to grab that diffuser and go for the plant again. Rampy will catch Uno, crouch walking from above. Plant going down, and great marks here. He falls off. It's almost a perfect round from Space Station, as they just need to grab that diffuse, and they will emerge in the first half with a 4-2 scoreline.
It may not be a perfect round in terms of man count, but in terms of play, it was absolutely beautiful from Space Station. Everything went right following the C4 from Bosco. As soon as that was successful, it was just an absolute sweep. And it wasn't as if LeStream was playing it poorly. They did make a couple of mistakes. One that I would like to point out, Uno choosing to try and clear Armory late in the game. There's still a castle up there, and Uno neither droned himself in nor checked every corner as he was making the push. He came off of clearing the small office just as he was about to see the castle. Overall, that was a big mistake. Double stacking on the diffuse plant, allowing for a double kill for the C4, also a mistake for LeStream. And apart from that, I mean, it was a pretty simple mop-up for the defenders after those initial kills from Space Station.
I wanted to take the time to also wish Rainbow6 a happy 3rd birthday.
Is it really the 3rd birthday?
December 1st, 2015 is when it came out.
Oh, it's December 1st?
Yes, Mike.
Okay. What? Yo, when's Christmas? Is it the 25th?
That's not a serious question, right? That's a joke. You're joking, right?
When is it? Because I'm supposed to do something on Christmas.
Oh
I don't
my
remember
God, it's
when
December 25th.
Okay, thank you.
It's the same date every year.
Hey. I don't
Attackers must locate and defuse
really
the
keep
bomb.
track of that kind of stuff.
Oh my God.
That's what I have you for. Chala, early kill on Alfalma as he attempts to rotate between CCTV and Armory. That's a mistake. And he will die for nothing.
It's a freebie.
It is a freebie.
So he takes out Alfama, the bandit is gone, and a good start for Space Station, whose attacks have generally been better than their defenses, of course, Villa notwithstanding.
Yeah, I mean, Villa doesn't really count considering the defensive half was better for everybody. I mean, we only saw a couple attacking wins. By a couple, I mean 5. Anyway, Uno eating a lot of damage early on, but he is a doc, so he should be able to heal himself up, and as you can see, he's doing just that. Rampy has also eaten some damage, but he does not have the virtue of drugs to heal himself. Now,
he's got a good position with that ACOG, though, looking in towards security, and he also has the windows available to him. This rotate hole is becoming increasingly common. We're seeing it in more border matches than ever before, allowing somebody to play an office, very heavily fortified there, also giving some power to the fountain position as well, so you know that you're not going to possibly get pressured from security. It's power to the fountain. As Michael thrusted his fist in the air when I said power to, so.
Rice trying to challenge the armory wall. He's got the goo traps to slow things down, and he's going to be able to hurt that drone economy. That goo trap on the window seal, of course, will detonate if anybody repels near that window, so that's a very powerful use of the Legion trap. And a peek from Rise will take down Redeemer, unexpected, and Redeemer just not paying attention. Not waiting for that aggression. Rise also holding on to the window in ventilation. Great job from the Legion so far, but he will finally die to a grenade from Thinking Nade.
That's a real thinker right there, eh?
We're done with this now. There's action happening, Parker.
1 minute left, and Space Station in good position, but they have lost once again the Redeemer, but it's the second grenade, both of them finding their targets. Great usage there on the throwable from Thinking Nade, and his patience will be rewarded, immediately traded off by Uno, though, after he picks up 2 kills, but it'll be Rampy shutting it down, and this lead for Space Station will continue to grow.
5-2 right now for Space Station, and that round was all off of the backs of Thinking Nade, able to land both of his grenades and get kills with each of them, and as well just following that up with some great aggression up the main stairs. Overall, the main driving force for Space Station there. You can hear them screaming after they win each of these rounds. You know, they were really excited to be able to get this victory. It's not done yet, though. 5-2 is not even match point anymore. Still need 1 round to bring us to that point.
That's correct.
Yes.
So LeStream is actually taking their timeout now. So I guess earlier on it wasn't a tactical timeout because they, to the best of my knowledge, they don't get 2.
I don't know what just happened, but yes, you're right.
I don't think they get a second.
They definitely don't get a second time.
No, they don't.
So we don't know what the first one was then.
That's okay.
It's probably a tactical pause, or sorry, no, a technical pause.
Technical pause.
Yes, not tactical.
Yeah, they are different. So you can obviously see they want to advance into the qualifiers, as everybody does.
Do they?
Not just for the 50,000 prize pool, thank you, Michael, but also a spot at the Invitational in Montreal. Keep in mind that this team that was known as Millennium at the time, never been to the Invitational. They didn't make it last year.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a surprise for a lot of people. Now, they made it to the Paris Major, but the Invitational has eluded them. Very same with Space Station Gaming. In fact, the only lands that Space Station Gaming have made are DreamHacks. They've not made it to a LAN in terms of a season final. They haven't made it to a major. They haven't even made it to a group stage. They will be competing at USN in just a couple weeks' time. So they did technically qualify for that one. They were actually one of the first 2 teams to qualify alongside Noble, or the team formerly known as Noble that is looking for representation.
Protect your bombs from
But
being defused by
on top of that, they obviously want a spot, and Space Station was, as an organization, flew them out here. They're one of only 2 technically international teams that are competing, because you also have Liquid flying all the way from Brazil, and we'll be seeing them next. At the conclusion of this matchup, we will have ENCE versus Team Liquid as match 2. That one will surely be exciting.
Yeah, so there's extra pressure on Space Station's shoulders as they are the only North American team here. So a lot to fight for I suppose in terms of nothing else, just pride. Now, North America hasn't really been having a lot of success as of late. I don't know if you guys have been following.
You're not allowed to say that. People are going to get angry.
People are going to get angry.
People are going to get very angry just from you saying that.
It's objective and measurable. I mean, I'm not saying North America bad. Clearly, they're winning right now against LeStream. Space Station doing a great job at representing their region. It's just, yes, they haven't been having much success. And that's the truth. They got eliminated in the quarters in Rio. No one managing to push their way into the semis, which is odd. It's not normal. And we'll see, though, if Space Station's able to lock this out. Right now, they are in a good position to do so, but they will actually make this round early on already advantageous. This is interesting. Uno was rotating into CCTV. It seemed to be part of the LeStream defensive strategy, but Bosco is in there within a minute. Impressive speed there from Bosco. You really got to give him praise for seeing that there was an opportunity to get that control and seizing it.
Yeah. Playing tight exactly where you'd expect a bandit to be on Armory Wall is Alfama. You would like to say something?
I just want to say for the record that I am North American, okay? And it is my region. I critique what is necessary.
What passport do you travel under?
It depends. Sometimes I'm a British one, sometimes my American one. Depends on where I'm going, but
I rest my case.
Usually the British one, honestly. What? Hey, I was raised in North America.
I know.
I'm an American.
I'm just joshing with you.
I know.
Just joshing with you, buddy. So not a lot of map control that's being taken here by Space Station. They're just kind of circling around the exterior of the map. They're gonna have to invest a little bit heavier inside of Armory. Rise just narrowly escaping a grenade that gets tossed in from Thinking Nade, who has been so accurate with those throwables as of late. A big shout out to the person on Twitter who corrected us when we used to call them projectiles. They said they're not projectiles, they're throwables. They were absolutely correct. Just narrowly missing death as Thinking Nade gets quite a bit of damage done to him. Alfama takes out Redeemer, which means that with Thinking Nade low, it's an advantage back in favor of LeStream. With a minute to go, they just need to kind of hold on and ride out the wave as it looks to crash upon them. Space Station taking up map control inside of CCTV/security. Still really haven't done all that much from above. Bosco, though, takes out Rise, and it's a 3v4 favoring Space Station.
That's a second in the round, and currently Bosco, the only one to be getting kills for Space Station in this round. But he's going to have to get quite a lot more, as there's still so much that LeStream have going for them right now. One thing I will say that's not great for LeStream is that they've got smoke kicks far off site, unable to deny any diffused plants from his position. Aces is inside of B trying to deny the push, but he's backed into a corner, but he won't be checked. You really got to clear these corners. Oh no, 2 for Aces. And it's all up to Bosco now, and he will die to Alfama. LeStream, an excellent holdout of the B bomb site, thanks to some negligence there from Space Station, simply not checking their corners. You gotta drone the site before you push it. It's really not hard.
It's a big win for LeStream in terms of confidence, but it does take away the best site from being available to them for at least 2 more rounds. So they're gonna have to go to Ventilation Workshop and then somewhere else before they can go back, unless they go to Vents twice. And the problem is that if they lose this on Vents, they go to match point.
Yeah, so Space Station are still in a pretty good spot, but LeStream seemed to have woken up. That last round was definitely really good. One thing I will state again is that Bosco put his team in a great spot. He got an early pick onto Uno, one of the best players on LeStream's lineup in terms of just frags. And then following that, he managed to get a couple more, but it wasn't enough. Space Station, the rest of them just could not put enough into the round to get a win. I really want to also, strategically, Space Station made no sense that last round. They had CCTV control in the first frickin' minute, and then they decided not to attack the Armory Wall. Why? I don't get it. I really don't get it. I feel like they had an opportunity, and they squandered it. They instead decided to spread out as thinly as possible and die one by one to the roamers of the stream. Just an odd decision-making process there for Space Station.
I mean, if they get CCTV/security control this time around, the prize is going to be that hatch that can go down into customs. But I mean, if you look at Space Station's lineup, they just have a thermite. So you're not going to waste one of the exothermic charges on that. You're likely going to use them on the armory wall if the armory wall is reinforced. I can't actually tell from this angle if it is, but and then probably the hatch upstairs. Looks like it is, and Aces is probably going to play on it. I would imagine. Bandit trick it. Yep, there you go. Exactly. So that's essentially what you want to do at this point. I'm not exactly certain what Thinking Nade is doing, but you can just hear the C8 going off unrelentingly, and
Probably just pre-firing.
could be a pre-fire.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very dangerous push. If you don't know where your opponents are, there's a lot of runouts onto the east balcony.
I want to give some credit here actually to Thinking Nade on Buck. If you recall, all the way back when they used to go by Bittersweet and King Leo was on the team,
That was a while
he
ago.
was the Buck.
Yeah.
And after he left, I believe they trialed Trippin' and Thinking Nade, and they couldn't get the hang of the operator. And Thinking Nade has really come into his own on it. And obviously, those grenades have been paying dividends, but also the soft destruction coming in very, very handy here. So it's taken about half of the round for Space Station to get in, and they've taken control above. And oh, that's a freebie for Bosco, looking for a second. He just misses Aces. The Bandit will dart into small office, but still under watch from the drone as he'll get marked inside of said small office. And there's another drone on him as Bosco looks to get his ever closer. This Bandit's in bad shape. He turns his back the wrong way and he gets downed, but they might not know. He has the hatch open to him as Rampy engages with the castle. Gets traded off very swiftly by Chala after Rampy falls inside of the bathroom. Bosco traveling the blood. Oh, Bosco with Chala shutting it down, and Space Station are 1 round away from the quarterfinals.
Bosco.
Dylan Bosco.
The newest addition to the roster, if I'm not mistaken, and certainly a strong player. I think one of those players, you know, we always go through the list of players who were, you know, not really talked about, who deserve more praise. And I think Bosco is certainly one of those. Stands apart from the rest of his team as being excellent, above and beyond, really, and that he pretty much single-handedly won that round. If we look back on it, he managed to get Rise early on and follow that up with finishing off the Bandit, who tried to fall back, and a free extra kill, why not? But always finding the right moment to peak, always being in the right position. That just seems like Bosco.
Is that correct what I just read? He's 14-3.
I didn't see it. I was busy talking.
You can't talk and look at the same time?
No, actually, whenever I talk, I turn blind. Whenever I smell,
How do you do
play?
How do you do play-by-play?
That's
That's impressive if that's true. What do you cast by sound?
I
You
do.
cast by echolocation.
I only have the one ear, but yes, that makes it so I can hear what's going on again somehow. I don't know. I'm done with this joke. We're moving on. 6-3 Space Station, match point. They're in a great spot. And again, I think all thanks to the effort of Bosco in that previous round.
I mean, it's been the Bosco show for almost 2 matches now. Villa, he woke up out of nowhere and is a big part of why that team came back. He's been holding it together now for them on Border too. And I mean, the rest of the team has been playing so well around them. Just actually a pretty welcome change, I'd imagine, for Space Station Gaming fans, because how many times do you often find that Chala and Redeemer are the 2 players that tend to run over everybody else in the path of this team? Having somebody else being able to do that allows Redeemer and Chala to play differently, maybe play a bit safer. And by I say safer, I mean not as pulsed down by customs getting killed in the first 20 seconds on 2 consecutive rounds.
So, Bosco laying in some damage there. He's gonna get another kill as Alfama goes down, and there you go. Bosco early frags again. He's always there to get it. And he is just putting his team in a position to lock this out.
It's a really good play. Overall, to just get in and take that ground away from them, and just not a smart play from Alfama, who has struggled on this team for the last 2 matches.
Yeah, Alfama hasn't been doing a whole lot here, but there's still potential for him to wake up if his team can win this round, but it's not looking good as Bosco. Another kill, and Rampy will double up on it as Rise goes down.
It's a grenade that gets tossed out just to clear out some of that barbed wire and utility, but it's Hicks and Aces, with Hicks shutting down Redeemer. Thinking Nade eliminating Hicks, and Aces will need to clutch here. He sees one. He'll take out Thinking Nade. The buck will drop. That MP7 is a pretty formidable gun, especially in the hands of Aces. do a lot of damage here. He does have an avenue over towards the main stairs and also the rotate into B as an exothermic charge is done, and I like this about Space Station. They're still using their utility and still executing. They're not getting sloppy, they're not rushing, they're not saying, hey, it's 1v3, let's just go get them. You can tell that they're still executing the same strategy. And Aces is being watched. The drop from Bosco, and what a finale for Space Station to take it.